Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So, today, I wanted to show how to solve a 4x4. Now, there's a lot of videos out there that show how to solve 4x4. I watched J-Perm's video as well, and I was looking in the comments of his video, and a lot of people were getting confused doing the OLL or the PLL, because when I tried to do it, before I learned another way to do it, I was stuck on this last layer, mostly the edges and stuff, because I had random pieces flipped and I didn't know how to do it right. So, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna scramble this cube up right here. I'm gonna move my other cubes. I'm gonna scramble this cube up. And I'm basically going to show an easier way, or a way that's a little less confusing with solving the cube, just to make it a little bit easier on you guys. So, first, what you want to do I usually go for the white and yellow centers first, but you can go for any center if you want. Just know that starting with white and yellow is easier, because then if you know the color scheme of the cube, then you can do this way. So basically, you're just going to make a white bar. So I got one white bar right there, and then you're going to make another one. This one's pretty straightforward. This step is pretty straightforward because you can't really have anything in the way of it. So, next step is to do the yellow side. So I'm going to take this yellow and twist it in such a way that it moves over here. I'm going to pull it up here to where it matches this yellow one. But how I'm going to do this is I'm going to pull it up, and that's going to break the white. We don't want to break the white. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this into another layer. So we're going to twist it over here so we can put this white back down. Now, if we twist the cube over, we see that there's already a yellow bar right there. Now, one thing, these steps are pretty straightforward. The first couple steps are pretty straightforward. I'm gonna twist it to where, it will go in the place of this one, because if I twist it and put it in the plate, just this empty spot, it breaks white, and we can't put this back without breaking white up again. And we don't want to break up yellow, or we don't want to break up white and just leave it like that. So what you want to do is you want to take this white bar and replace this yellow bar, sorry, and you want to replace this yellow, but if I say a different color, just know what I mean. But we want to replace this yellow bar with this yellow bar, so we're going to put it up to where that yellow bar used to be, and it's going to move back down over here. This white is going to move up. It's going to break the white. So now, if we move this 180 degrees where it's over here, we can pull this one back, and that restores the white. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the four centers on the right, on like these areas. Now, J-Perm has it to where he did some of the edge pairing and left out one edge. That is a good idea. But, one thing that I've seen that is easier is if you just do the centers and then you do the white edges. I don't know how well it works with speed solving, but it definitely works with this, because I would always end up like messing up an edge because I would forget to twist all three layers. And so, what you want to do is, since I already have a blue bar right here, and I got two diagonal, I'm going to take this blue bar right here, pull it back. I'm going to move this one to where it moves it up here. I'm going to move this back. That makes a bar. And then blue, you can just insert it immediately up there. Now, next is orange. So what you want to do,
I already did them.
Now real fast, I just grabbed my 3x3. So, if you notice on 3x3, we look at the 4x4 and we see white right here. Now, if we turn white to the exact same spot, the color scheme on the 3x3 goes blue, orange, green, and red. So basically what we want to do is, since white's right here, we want to have it go blue, orange, green, and red. It's BOGR is what we call it. But so for the other centers, what I'm gonna do is, since I want to get all the other centers, but I don't want to break up this one, what you gotta do is, since I have an orange right here and an orange right there, I'm gonna twist this one, pull it down to where it matches up, and then I'm gonna move it out of this layer. I'm gonna move it into this layer to where I can pull blue back to where I can get it restored. Now, if I look around the cube, I have these two orange that are directly diagonal from each other. What I want to do right here is I'm going to pull this, so pull the first two layers of the cube up, and then I'm going to take this one, and since this right here, this orange piece is right here, I'm going to move this up, move this piece down to right here, move this back down. That creates that bar. Now what I can do is, it's the same rule as if we were doing yellow. What we want to do is we want to move this orange bar up to in the way of that other orange bar, do a U2, and then move it back. That gets this orange bar, that gets this orange center done, and it restores the blue center. Now, for the other two centers, you see how we have one bar, we have one side that has two bars, but they're not the same color. Then we have another center that has diagonal colors. What I would do is I would take this bar, this green bar, since green is after orange, and I would move it up, do 180, move it back down, so now we don't have that little diagonal piece. So we can take this piece right here, we can take this green piece, move it to right here by doing a U, move this piece up to where it creates that bar, move it back, and we don't have to replace it because we already broke up all the edges. So once we move this side down, it restores all the center pieces, and you got the centers down. Now we're on to the edge pairing step. So what you want to do is you want to find the edges that have the color white on them. So I got this orange, white right here, and then this orange and white down here. Since my orange and white is already down here, all I gotta do is move this one over here to where it's on top. Now all I gotta do is do an F prime, and they're side by side to each other. But now I gotta do a flipping algorithm in order to flip these guys, because we want them in the same slice, so in the same area, to where when we do this certain move, it will put them back into the actual, and make a pair. So the flipping algorithm would be R, U, R prime, F, R, F prime, and R. That's what the flipping algorithm would be. And since we want this orange and white right here, what we're going to do is we're going to take it, since we want it right here, we're going to pull this over. And once you do the flipping algorithm again, it will pull it down here, and then we can insert it over here, and that will make the white, the orange edge piece. So do the flipping algorithm, R, U, R prime, F, R, F prime, R. Now I pull this back over here. We pull this one back. That restores the centers and makes it to where we can insert this down here into the correct color. So now, once you did that, then just do all the rest of them like that. And then we can move on to the actual edge pairing. Now, if you're doing it and you end up getting an edge like this, it works as the same as a 3x3. All you gotta do is turn the face of the cube turn the white side counterclockwise, and then turn this right side back up, and then turn this back. And it works the same as a 3x3. Now, if you have a case where you have the white and another color on here, on the side where it needs to be, and you have one at the top, all you gotta do is, this is really simple, all you gotta do is pull this right side up, do a U prime, so it gets it in that layer, and then pull it down and it will pull it into that layer. Okay, so once you got the pairs done, then what you want to do is you want to look around the cube to see if you can find any edge pairs. So basically what I mean is, I have orange and green right here, so I have orange and green right here, so that it would work the same. But the only difference is between this, doing these guys with edge pairing, and the edge pairing up here, is that you don't have to flip. All you gotta do, and the only reason you would have to flip is if you had the slices on the same, if you had the pieces on the same slice. So I'm gonna put this in, and then I'm gonna group them together, and then I'm gonna look up here. This edge is free, so I'm gonna pull it up, replace it with an edge that's not solved, pull it back down, and restore the edges, or the centers. That. So now we're gonna do this with all of the edges. So I see this red right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna pair them together. I'm gonna look at the top. We have two things that aren't done yet, so I can put them in either one. So I'm gonna put them in this one. Pull it up there, replace it with an edge that's not solved, and pull it back down, restore the edges. Now once you have that done, you will only have one more edge that you need to do. But you won't be able to do this the same way that you did all these edges. You would have to do it as if you were to do one of these edges. What you want to do is, since I already have them on these slices, and if they're up here, all you gotta do is drag them, pull them down, like so, and it works the same way. The only reason you wouldn't be able to put this group up here is because if you were to put it up here, you would have nothing to take it out. You'd have no unsolved edges to take out. So we already have all the solved edges up there. We just need to solve this one more edge. So we got these two pieces. So I'm gonna do this, flip, puts it down here, pull it back. That edge is done. Now at this stage, it's 3x3. Now this is the part where I feel like a lot of people get stuck on. I am guilty of getting stuck on it too, which is not a problem because I figured out how to do it. So what I'm going to do is, since I already have the F2L done, and I can't really do OLL because these aren't paired up correctly at all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for two colors that match. So I see green, and they both have yellow on them. So I'm going to put one into one area, I'm going to put one into one edge, and then I'm going to put this green over here, I'm going to insert it into this edge by doing that. Now I can do slice move, flip, and that pairs up that. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of removing both of them, I'm just going to replace this solved edge with a non-solved edge. So this one, pull this up, replace it with this unsolved edge. I'm going to flip them because they're not on the same slice that they need to be on. So I'm going to flip them. Now blue and red are on the same slice. So now if I just pull this guy over, do the flipping algorithm, and then push it back over, that pairs up those last colors. Now you can solve it like a 3x3. Now if you're doing OLL and you find that you have this whole row flipped, or just 3 of them flipped, or even just one of them flipped, like just one edge, this is what we call Oll Parody, and this is an impossible case on the 3x3, because on the 3x3, you cannot get a flipped edge unless you assembled the cube wrong. So what you would do is you would do this algorithm. So it's RU2 X, which means to turn the bottom of the cube facing you. RU2 RU2 R prime U2 L U2 R prime U2 R U2 R prime U2 R. This is another case that you could get on the 4x4, and it's when you have two edges that need to be flipped, but you can't do it because it's not a 3x3 case. You can't get this case on a 3x3. So what you would do is you would do the same thing that you would usually do on 3x3 when you're flipping corners with CFOP. You turn it like that, it looks solved, and then you turn it this way, and those corners are flipped. What you're going to do with this is you're going to do 2R2, which means only to turn this piece, this center piece. You're going to do 2R2, U2, 2R2, 2U2, which means to turn both of the layers on top. 2R2, and then you have officially solved the 4x4. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next Saturday. Yeah, see you guys.